When you become a TYT member, not only do you get exclusive content, you become a part of our family. Click the link in the description box below to join the home of progressives.
Ben Shapiro says you should wait till after marriage to have sex. I'm just gonna present what he said and then we'll react to it. The Newsweek opinion piece that he wrote for Newsweek is entitled "Sex Before Marriage Won't Make You Happy." Here is his lead line. This week, the Institute for Family Studies released a new study. Its key finding: married people are happiest if their spouses are the only people with whom they have ever had sex. So that's just his thesis statement. What is that reaction, just from anecdotal? Like, what's your first reaction to seeing something like this from Benny?
I have a feeling his wife runs that institution.
I don't know. The Institute for Family Studies, you were researching it, we were kind of researching it.
I feel like it's like a family research council situation where it sounds like they're doing something good, but they really just want to like hype out this propaganda that's
right. It's definitely
for dorks. Dork virgins.
Just stick with one.
I don't know when we start the video. If people know that that's a callback on the internet breakouts, it's a callback. The Institute for Family Studies in their mission statement, they say that our mission is to make marriages happier and families happier. It's not necessarily to make individuals happier or anything like that. So It seems like they come at it from there, but we'll reserve judgment. I do know that I've looked to them for thousands of years to guide my decisions. He says in his op-ed, or I guess there's no pages, so it's just his opinion piece. Women who reported one sexual partner over the course of their lifetimes were the most likely to be very happy in marriages, 64%. The least likely to be very happy were women who had 6 to 10 lifetime sexual partners, 52%. For men, the same held true. 71% of men who reported one lifetime sexual partner reported being very happy in their marriages. I do feel like when they say very happy, they're probably like, oh, I'm very happy.
Yeah, exactly.
Or I mean, if you don't have anything to compare it to, maybe they are happy. Maybe they don't know how good it could be.
How could you buy a car if you haven't taken it for a ride? That's all I gotta say on that.
It's really puritanical. I think personally we should give teenagers vasectomies and just put them in a warehouse and let them have sex. Just figure it out, you know? I think why a
warehouse?
I just mean like,
this used to be a Costco. Go bone.
Consensual, warehouse style sex.
Well, you know what was disturbing to me is that I was reading. It said that women tend to relate sex to like emotions and intimate, and it was just like these are just old horrible stereotypes.
That's also
of like what happens to us. I mean, look, I know plenty of women who are plenty happy having multiple partners. They're plenty happy. That's not like a thing for them.
I feel like in my personal experience, when I was less sexually experienced than my girlfriends, I was like 20 whatever. I was just so wildly jealous of every time they brought up like an ex. I was like, is that the one? Yeah. And I feel like the more experience I got, the more I realized that stuff, to fixate on that stuff is so stupid.
Yeah.
Everyone should just you should love the person you're with and their experience makes them and that's who they are.
Right.
And I think he's the dangerous thing, not even dangerous, the stupid thing about what he's doing is he's just kind of saying that if you have had anything different than the conventional definition over the millennia of monogamous marriage, this is the first person, then you're gonna be unhappy.
Right.
And what's frustrating about that is it removes like the person's individual choice from it. Like he says that in his thing, he's like, we shame virgins. We urge people to engage with more sexual partners before marriage. That reduces sex to a physical interaction rather than an emotional and spiritual one. Virginity until marriage is actually frowned upon in the modern world, with its adherents castigated as simpletons or religious fundamentalists. I'd say what's frustrating about this is there was a movie called 40-Year-Old Virgin, and yes, they did make fun of him. And I think that's not very nice to do, but I think that movie was very, very funny. But I do think that some people who evangelize virginity until marriage are themselves shaming everyone else. So the reason some people are upset and sad and not happy is because they're being called sluts because they have sex with multiple people.
You can't win either way.
Yeah.
Like you're either a loser for being a virgin or you're a slut for having sex. And by the way, that always falls a lot heavier on women's shoulders than it does on men.
Oh, for sure.
If you've ever seen the TLC show, I forget the name of it, but it's essentially virgins getting married and how they, on their wedding day, they always kiss like they're two birds eating from each other's mouths. You will absolutely disagree with Ben Shapiro. That's the hardest evidence I could come up with.
You know,
You do not want that.
he almost sounds a little bit.
Just like mawing at each other. Yeah. Yeah. You'll see it. You'll know what I'm talking
Look,
about.
if you don't have game and you were only managed to get one person, God bless, I'm not shaming you on that. But look, I come from a culture where you have to be a virgin in order to get married. That's the jam. Like that's your, especially as a woman, you got to have everything intact before you go in, and and it's a really big deal. Like that's the worth of a woman. Like if you are not that, then your value as a woman goes down, and then you don't get a lot of suitors. That's why I live in America.
Yeah.
And
read between those lines.
thank you, America. I love you.
Yeah, just here's another thing that he said. We're gonna go back one graphic to female happiness has declined markedly since the 1970s, the advent of the modern feminist movement.
Oh,
Lies.
goodness. Total lies.
It's just like that's it. That felt like reading this article. That's the thing he wanted to get in. That's the thing that he was working around the entire time. And it's like, fine, if we want to frame this in this is Ben Shapiro's opinion, and everything, fine. I'll read this. I'll look at some of the stats. I will weigh it against my own personal experience.
Why is Newsweek giving him a platform to talk about this garbage? I mean, I guess clickbait, right?
I guess so. That might be it. Yeah.
I don't need another man telling me whether or not I'm happy.
Right. Oh my.
I don't need that, I'm not happier since the 70s. First of all, not born, too young.
Duh, idiot.
High five on that, Erin. Okay, what's up?
I talked to Idarol about this, and here's his one point about it. That one of many points he made. But he said, if we're going by happiness metrics, if that's how you define the norms of a society, then the socialist countries of this world are happier than ours by and large. So I guess Ben Shapiro would advocate we sign up for socialism right away.
But that's actually true. In Russia, there have been studies that women in socialist Russia have way better sex because there are stuff that is taken care of they don't have to worry about.
I talked to someone who worked in Russia and they were like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, there's other terrible stuff.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
There's a safety net-ish in place.
But just like all the Scandinavian countries where it's like they have.
Oh.
And I'm sure Ben Shapiro would be like, that's because they're all, or not Ben Shapiro, but like people who like Ben Shapiro would say like, that's because they're all white. And white people, when they get together, they get happy. That's what happens. And that's true. When we get together, we have these awesome parties, everyone dances weird, and that's it.
You know what? I
Eat sandwiches.
I gotta say,
Sandwiches with no crust.
listen,
No crust sandwiches.
whenever you put the music together, brown people are the first people to get up and dance. I don't know if you've seen our weddings and our parties, but we get down.
Oh, but
okay?
these white
we
people
get
do this
down, you guys.
amazing
And
thing.
we got dance moves. So
No.
I don't think you've seen
one
white
word,
people dance.
Bollywood, my friend. That's all I gotta say. Okay.
I will say that the white people do this amazing thing at dances when they're in like 8th grade where they just stand around the side of the room terrified for like 2 hours. And then the last half hour of the dance, everyone like kind of does this.
Oh.
It's pretty
Yeah.
dope.
Oh wow.
Have you ever seen? It's like watching robots move, basically.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.